Hello everyone, welcome back to Active Player Network's coverage of Gen Con 2018. I am your host and Richmond Community Manager, and I am here with Luke and Detective, a modern crime board game from Portal Games.
Yep.
Luke, it's great to have you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So Luke, what's your role with Portal?
I'm the North American representative.
Okay, awesome. Well, what can you tell us? Give us a quick kind of overview about what we are getting into with Detective.
So, without going on and on about how incredible and amazing this game is,
Which it is.
it is. It is a game that doesn't have the components or the rules getting in the way of the story and the experience, and that's what Portal wants to do. It's a game that lets us go back to our roots and make a game that tells a story. It's one of those games where you want to give it the time, and then you'll get something out of it that's incredible that you probably haven't had from a game before.
I watched your video about like taking the game around the world and getting feedback. What was that like?
That was incredible.
Yeah.
So most of that was done by Ignace. He's the one who took Detective in his bag and traveled around and let everyone play it and have this experience, and the feedback has been sensational. It's just the experiences and the emotions and the things that players are going through as they play this game. So for example, with my group and the group that any group that we try to kind of show the game off to and demo, we'll try to dim the lights, we'll put on some noir jazz in the background, we'll make some strong coffee, and we'll just kind of get lost in it. So, and this is what you want to do. There's actually a thread on Board Game Geek of people discussing ambient music and music for this. You know,
That's
someone
really
said
cool.
do noir music and loop it over sounds of rain and thunder, and you're set. So, but basically, what you can expect from this is moments where you're jumping away from a table and your hands are shaking and you're thinking, I can't believe that happened. Or moments that you've spent an hour and a half investing your energy and your focus into a lead, into a certain path that you weren't certain of, but you had a gut feeling that there could be something here, and then you find those key pieces of evidence and you insert them into the database, and then the database comes and flashes up to you, warning, evidence match, arrest suspect, warrant approved, and when you see that after all of that time and all that focus into something you weren't certain of but you had a hunch, it's an extremely rewarding
That's
feeling.
that true detective feeling, right? That you always hear, like, I had a hunch.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about the database, because that's something really unique to this game that I think is just incredible, that you can be playing a game at a table and yet someone's like over at the computer, it just seems like you're a detective, right? And moving between the different elements of that process.
Sure, yeah. So for a game like this, and as with any game that has an integrated online component or an app component, anything like that, you will get some pushback, you'll get some concern. There are some players who just really like analog, and they say, I don't want anything that requires me to take out my laptop or take out my cell phone. But we've won those players over after they've played this game, because to have an extremely immersive experience like Detective, you have to have that. We can't put surveillance videos and MP3 recordings of questionings and interrogations and mugshots and police files and all of these really intricate, detailed pieces of information. It's hard to put that in a box. And to make this game an immersive experience where you're actually being a detective, you have to have that. And the database also has our signature and fingerprint matching system in there. So as you're running through the game and pursuing leads, as you're actually finding fingerprints and finding DNA, you're inserting them into your database. Later on, throughout the cases, as you go into the story, you will be able to insert more information, match them, and then you might see that, oh, this thing from case 1 matches this thing I found in case 3, and then that'll pop up with a whole new theory and a whole new lead, so you'll be able to do so much more.
They're individual cases, and you can kind of string them together as a campaign?
Cases 1 through 5, they're all standalone individual cases, but they all build to one large meta plot. You can't play this game out of sequence. So there will be actual times if you get too distracted on case 1, and you get too deterred by something interesting that's happening in the background and you're not focusing on the main question, you might get to a card that says, great, you can take this card and put it into case 4. You know, it's something that you've discovered towards the meta plot.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily relevant to the case at hand, but you are digging deeper, so you're finding things that are relevant to the big picture.
So it looks like this is the kind of thing where you could sit down with a group of friends, play through a case and have a good time, or like make a death pact that you're going to come back for 5 weeks in a row and play
I'd say
through a bunch.
go for the death pack.
Yeah.
Because this game is heavy. It is so rewarding, mostly because it really is demanding. And it's not something that you can have as a fluff. This is going to be your game night experience. You are getting together to play detective. You're going to be taking notes. You're going to be discussing theories. You're going to be there talking, thinking, getting up from the table, wandering around. You're going to have all these emotions coming up. And that's what the game is. So it's really important to have that with a core group. This game can be soloed. You can play it solo. You can play it with 2. You can play it up to 5. We had people play it of 6 and 7 even. But really what it's about is making sure that you have a group that is focused, that is committed to the story, that wants to dive in, and is going to remember things from the first and the second case, and they will want to actually engage further. So yeah, I'd say find that core group of detectives and investigators and get at it.
Well, this seems like the kind of game that is going to keep me up at night, and I can't wait to hear what people out there are feeling and thinking about when playing this game. So active players, if you are out there playing detective, we want to hear about it. Luke wants to hear about it. Thank you so much for sitting down and telling us a little bit about it.
Sure, thank you.
Let's play. Thanks for joining us here on Active Player Network. Now it's your turn to get the game because we're going to be giving away a copy. You can take a look at the info below the video for how you can enter for your chance to win. If you liked the video, please go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/ActivePlayerNetwork. Make sure you don't miss out on blogs, vlogs, and giveaways by heading over to our Facebook fan page, facebook.com/ActivePlayerNetwork, and hitting the like button. Join our discussions on Twitter at ActivePlayerNet and follow our antics on Instagram at ActivePlayerNetwork. We'll see you next time on Get the Game. Play on.